Good morning, guys. Good morning. This is Spirit Journey. How you all doing? Today is December 21st, 2021, and the time is 6:46 a.m. Yes, I'm in my living room, and I have my gang with me, my little babies, Lavender, Shrieking. Getting the show. Come in, come in. You can always see her. That's Lavender, my Pekingese, and Lily's right across from me. Yeah. Another one, little Peanut, who I call Peanut. Uh, she's on my meditation chair. Yes, she's enjoying herself. She is the lady of leisure. Yes. What I want to talk about today. Um, I had another vision. Many of you know I have my morning visions. Upon awakening, keep my eyes closed and I just relax my body. Just relax. I'm totally aware of everything, and I'm usually able to see something. Something comes to my vision, even though my eyes are closed. Um, Oftentimes, it's very faint, but you can still see things. So it's more like last year or the year before that I was able to see very clearly. So I don't know what I'm not doing for me to not see so vividly. I mean, once in a blue moon, it's clear. Um, it's an interesting theme. This whole thing with what I'm seeing the past month. Water. Water is the theme. Yes, good morning, viewer. Good morning. Yeah, I'm all wrapped up. I have my Mylar, this thing here. This is a Mylar sleeping bag. Mylar, it's those joggers, when they have a marathon and after the race they wrap themselves what looks like aluminum foil. It's called Mylar, Mylar. It holds in your heat. It reflects the heat back onto you. And that's what I'm sleeping in. It was getting cold last night, and I'm sleeping in my living room, and it's right near the window. So it was getting a little chilly. So I said, I'm going to use my bag. Again, I do have my a little blanket also. So yes, it holds in that heat. And I have this scarf on my head, keep my neck warm. Yeah, people keep your neck warm. When it starts to get cold, you keep your neck warm, all in here. It's because you have your glands there. And when they feel stressed, you can get sick. And that's one thing I don't want to get sick. Yeah, and that even reminds me of something else, but I'll mention that later. So please remind me about what that something else was about getting sick. Yeah, in fact, real quick, uh, about a person in my building. It was a minor incident with my a tenant in the building that I live in. So please remind me to mention that. I'll get with the vision since that's what this video is really about. And again, general topics, general talk as well. But yes, so when upon getting up, awakening, I should say, keep my eyes closed, and then I just, you know, it I see a vision that glides right in there. And what I saw today, I saw again a body of water. Body of water for this month seems to be the theme that that's in everything that I've been seeing now, water. So today it was like I saw like a body of water. It looked calm. It looked like it was a big body of water, but I didn't see. I just saw part of it. Um, and on the edge of this body of water was, I think it was a platform. and on top of the platform was like a picnic table, a round shaped picnic table, like, um, and two chairs opposite each other, just a standard chair, armchair. I think also made out of wood, and it was n- not painted. It was a raw wood, um, like made from 2x4s. The table, the width was like about that wide. Looked like a rustic table. Um, yeah, the table might have been um, 6 feet in diameter. So all my visions I see, it's silent. I never hear any audio. And for those of you who have suggestions on how I could see, how I can hear audio in the things that I'm seeing, that would really be fantastic because maybe, you might hear people talking, so are they talking in your native tongue or a foreign language? Um, do you hear what type of animals you might hear in the background to help pinpoint where I'm seeing what I'm seeing? It looked like my impression was that it was um, I don't, the viewing, this meditation, and when I'm going to appear in another location mentally, it knows that it needs to hide. Because boom, I at this new location, and I'm behind some type of plant, and it's always the same type of plant. Or this other thing that used to appear was it reminds me of like a net, an old-fashioned fish net, but it has very, very large holes in it, and it's almost like it's a type of fabric, the net, and it's rather than like a rope or something, it seemed more like a cloth, rags or something, um, and it's blocking my view like a whole like a net like it's filtering out. It doesn't want me to see. Yes, good morning. It really is just reinforcing in me that this is deliberate. Deliberate. This big net, is this something like? Um, is it something that like someone had told me before? People who claim that they could astral project, um, that they said when they're looking at the Earth, that there's a grid over the Earth, and that you're not able to, because of the grid, you may not be able to see or go to certain places. So I'm wondering, even though this doesn't look like a grid, so to speak, it looks, excuse me, like a cloth. It looks like something synthetic. Excuse me. It doesn't look like wires or metal. It looks very flimsy, and but it seems to serve as some type of protection, covering, even though the holes are very big. So you could see through. You could see, you know, through the item, but it's so distorted because it's there. You want to see the whole thing. So I don't know how to be able to have that access to see without that grid, or to see without that plan in a way. Or sometimes in the past I saw what looks like some type of being, and it looked more. I know it sounds very odd, and again, I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I never. This is a new phenomena for me. This is new. Meditation is a new practice for me, relatively new. And so I know I'm not. There's not anything wrong with me. and this is a new practice that I've been doing, and I've only had this experience through the meditation, the meditation process. Um, what was I going to say now? Yeah, so these beings, they look like insects, in my opinion. And they seem to be aware when I am manifest, or my conscious manifest in this location. And it, I don't know, my impression was it was somewhere out in space. I know that sounds bizarre again. It didn't seem like it was in some type of facility, some type of laboratory. And what else? Yeah, it looked like some type of workspace. And it seemed as though that my eye, let's see, um, when I manifested, my consciousness manifested there, or whatever was happening there, it could see me, and it's blocking my eye. It used its expenditures, its arms, or limbs, and it's blocking my face, And even though my eyes are closed, at the whole time I'm having this vision, through meditation, you can still see the shadow it leaves. Like, suppose, like right now, my eyes are open, but suppose I close my eyes and move my hands over my face. You're going to see like a shadow. You can see your hands move in front of your face. The shadow that it casts. Right? Those of you who've never done it, just close your eyes. If you're in daylight or something, if you're in a lit room, you'll be able to see that. So it's the same thing, that where I am, and even though my eyes are closed, the being, or whatever was there, is covered, it's like going like this at my face, where my eyes are, and I can't see around. Yeah, this is a big world, people. There's more to life than this physical reality. It's something much, much bigger. Yeah, because I used to have those visions a lot of these beings. Some of them look like ants, and some of them look like a sorry, completely different type of being. Like, it looks feathery, like it has many limbs. It can kind of stand up, it's like it's standing up, but it has many limbs, and it's feathery looking. That's the best I can think of it. And it's a light color. And the ant that I saw, what reminds me of an ant, is like a dark ant, a typical ant that you see. It just seems to look something like that. And it's very faint. You see that when I saw those beings, it wasn't clear. I couldn't see clearly, but it just shapes that I see. It's very odd. So with today's vision of the table, and I think it was on a deck, a low deck, and behind, in front of the, away from the table, away from me was the large body of water. It looked very still, very, very still. It seemed, even though I just saw a piece of the water, my impression was this was part of a very, very large body of water, like it could have been on a riverbank, or on a large lake or something like that. I didn't see any trees. It was daytime. It looked like it could have been daytime. What else? Yeah, it's gone. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's back on. Yeah, this thing is just buffering and buffering. Um, yeah, so the theme now for this month, and I could have also had it for last month too. Um, the theme of what I've been seeing now for the past 30 days is water related. Yeah, large bodies of water. Yeah, and I think the day before I might have saw something too, but it was so brief, and that one, I think it was yesterday, and it wasn't my early morning vision. It could have been in the afternoon, and again, I started, meditating while I'm sitting here in my living room. And again, I saw a large body of, I saw water. But this one, it was a strong current. The water looked like murky, like a muddy water, and it's moving in this direction, from my right to left, moving very quickly. Um, it looked like it was daytime. Yeah, looked like it was daytime. So again, water. And I'm wondering whether this is in the same location, you know. Um, it's really fascinating, people. This is fascinating, and I'm no one special. And you can do it too. You can do it too. I mean, everybody's different, but you may see even more exciting things, and so that's why I encourage people um, to do meditation, especially this early morning meditation, because it seems like you're able to tap into something. See, when you're asleep, there's a bridge between your sleep slash dream state and this state. And when you're in the in between realms, I think it's the doorway, get this, it is the doorway to have access to almost anything. But see, I'm a newbie at this, and I would love to find someone who's really skilled at meditation and could help me with. See, I am on my spiritual journey. I was like everybody else. I think I was raised, in New York City, where I still live, um, and just went to public schools. I was just like everybody else. I was very, very shy, and I only believed in things that I could see. I used to be an atheist, and then I was introduced to Christianity. So I would say um, I followed religion for all of my adult life until maybe 4 years ago. I think about 4 or 3 years, it was before COVID. I would say a good 4 years ago, I officially turned away from religion. But I am interested in spirituality and to develop that. But it's a scary process. I mean, I was a Bible believing conservative Christian, and I was afraid of upsetting God, and I lived in fear. The religion that I was practicing was fear based. You better be good. You better, it wasn't about love. It was about obedience and fear. Because if you don't obey, then you're going to get punished. And that's what that religion meant to me. Yeah, I do believe in being kind to people, helping people. But it don't you ever wonder why in the scriptures it says don't meditate? Not it tells you not to, you know, um, metaphysical practices. It it, it, it 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 doesn't want you to know outside of your conscious awareness. Why is that? Why would a God, the true God, tell you that? Why would it keep you in ignorance if knowledge to learn about things is something beneficial? Can help expand your understanding of the creation. Well, I'm seeing more and more on the internet that those things that you call gods, they said that they are the Anunnaki, beings from other star systems, and they masquerade because they have more technology. So it's more like what they call a cargo cult. Cargo cult is a term that became popular during World War II. You had Western countries, including the U.S., that would fly to these remote islands in the Pacific Ocean. And they never saw people outside of their group, the people on these islands. And these planes would land, and some of them would give the local people there things and stuff like that, and they would leave. You know, the planes would leave. And these people were so mesmerized by their technology that they started to worship them. They started building things that looked like an airplane and some of the devices that they saw that these Westerners had. And many, many years later, when these Westerners came to visit the areas, they saw that they built replica of some of the devices that they had in worship of these people, the Westerners. So I'm thinking with what they call the Anunnaki, that the same thing happened. They had the technology, and they shared some of that technology with the people, and the people were instructed to worship them. Why worship somebody that's not there? Why this worship? You know, in my opinion, what worship is, worship has to do, get this, people, get this, is very important. Worship, in essence, is to feed your energy to that being. And I'll repeat, worship, in essence, is to feed your energy to that other being. Because what you're focused on, energy flows where attention goes to. If you're focused on a particular thing, your energy travels to that, what you're focused on. Consciousness is an energy. It is a type of force. And it moves. It's not stagnant. So if you're always focusing on one thing, all your energy and focus goes on that thing. And that's what they want. And that's what real religion is all about. Organized religion is about you focusing your attention, your energy on that being. Why do you think they put a cross in those churches, or what do you call a crucifix? They have a cross and a body on it that's all mangled looking. Why? Because it emits emotions, and they feed off of that emotion. And why are those churches, why they have the steeple, that real pointy thing? What is that? That is a device that directs your energy to a concentrated beam-like substance. You cannot see the beam. It's all energetic. You have to ask yourself, why is it shaped like that? It's an antenna, and it's transmitting your energy, your purpose of that session over to somewhere else to harvest. It's just coming into my mind right now. What's coming to my mind right now is that, well, who's gathering that energy? Where? Well, maybe Saturn. I was told that Saturn was Saturn. Saturn has rings around it. And it transmits information. I was told that it transmits information energetically to the moon, and then from the moon to planet Earth. It is feeding off of us. The church, you notice the churches are always seems to be located in poor areas / black neighborhoods. We have more churches than real bona fide businesses. Why is that? Because the business for blacks in America is to extract our energy. even though slavery, chattel slavery is gone, but it relies on us, giving them our energy. And in this case, through what they call worship or church services. You know, I used to be a church person. I'll go every Sunday. I'll give my tithes and offering. But what do the people get? How could you have a God? How could you have a God that receives so much worship from the black community in America, and yet they give us nothing back, really? We get just enough to sustain ourselves, but everybody else gets rich off of us. Why? Why? Why, viewer? Excuse me. Why is this? You have to start answering. I'm not attacking anybody's religion. If something serves you, you serve it. If it serves you, you serve it. That's fair. But it's not serving us. It's actually hurting us because it's sucking out our resources and giving it to somebody else that doesn't even love you or respect you. We have to really start thinking, what are we doing? Why are we doing what we're doing? You need to stop that, people. Direct your energy to yourself. Say, hey, I want to direct energy to get out of poverty, to improve my knowledge base, to help my community, to help my family. But that's not happening. But what they're doing, they're targeting your community to do acts of violence upon one another. They're doing acts of violence upon themselves. And I think that's what was that Black Lives Matter thing was all about last year. Whose neighborhoods were they destroying? Whose? Who, in the end of all this melee, who was really affected in a negative way? Black people. Black people. And the motto, Black Lives Matter. Start asking yourself, anytime you hear someone use that slogan, Black Lives Matter, you have to interject whether does Black Lives Matter to you? Does Black Lives Matter to other black people? And it's a fair question. Why go up to a white person or Asian person or a Jewish person and say that Black Lives Matter, but you're destroying your own neighborhood? You have to start challenging them. If Black Lives Matter, black people in America, or any sympathizer of Black Lives Matter, yes, black lives should matter. That's why I take care of myself. That's why when it's cold, I wrap myself up because my life matters to me. So I wrap something around my head and my throat because when it gets cold, I can catch a cold and get sick. So my life matters to me, and I'm a black woman. I'm all bundled up. I have a jacket on. I'm sensitive to the cold outside. So I bought a jumpsuit, what do you call it, overalls. That's good for, either it's said up to minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit, that this jacket is good for. You know, it could have been that or minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Either way, I bought something that's supposed to work in cold weather. I used it for the first time outside. I mean, I've tried it in here, but I went outside with it on because it was 20-something degrees Fahrenheit, and I said, I want to be warm because I needed to walk my dogs, and when I go out with my dogs, I like to go out for a couple of hours, and I wanted to stay warm, and you know it worked, yeah, because my black life is important to me. Start asking black people who like to throw that in your face. Black Lives Matter. Look at these people. Look at how they dress. Look at how they talk. Do these people care about hygiene? Did they take a bath that day? Did they comb their hair that day? What about their command of the English language, if they're English speaking? Do they sound like they have marbles in their mouth? Because if the life mattered to them, they would learn the language and learn to speak it well. Because being able to communicate effectively is important in any business situation. What are they putting in their body? Are they eating fast food or are they eating organic? You have to really watch them. What do they stand for? Why are they so preoccupied with other people think about them and not themselves? Because these people who are rioting, I doubt they live near white people. They live in their own poor neighborhoods doing black on black crime. And they're not there helping one another but pulling each other down. You have to start asking yourself questions. When someone has the motto, Black Lives Matter, and it should matter to you, does it matter to them? Does Black lives matter to Black people? Ask that question. Ask, and it's not being rude. Challenge them on it. If it really matters, why are you trying to convince other people that Black Lives Matter, but your behavior shows it does not matter to you? You throw it out. You throw it out there, nonsense. Do they value education? Do they? Do they study? Do they? I've met people from other countries. They knew the value of education. This girl is from Korea, South Korea. She came to the U.S. when she was 5 years old with her parents. The first thing the parents did was to give her an encyclopedia for her to read. They knew the importance of education. And I would gather that perhaps that encyclopedia was to introduce them to Western culture or knowledge base that its society is based on. So, sorry. Yeah, the sun is now up now. Good morning, sunrise. Yes, sunrise now. Yeah, I love this time of the day. I love dawn. I like the beginning of dawn of the day. It's a real still part of the day, but it has a lot of passion behind it. I love it. Yeah. So viewer, what do you think? Am I making any sense? Someone's going to demand. I've talked about this. Look at the people in politics. We're falling for liars. This system, who the current administration is doing a bad thing to the nation, forcing us to take the thing in the arm. And did you hear that it's causing stillbirths? In normal, not to say that's, I mean, you have, on average, the stillbirths mean that a woman gave birth to a baby that was born dead, okay? Now, it's about maybe maximum about 2 stillbirths a month. And in this 6-month period, there were 60-something or 80-something stillbirths. How did that happen? they had the thing in their arm. The more things put in the arm, the increased number of sicknesses among people. They're trying to destroy us. They are trying to destroy us. They're telling me what to do with my body, and I don't. It's ridiculous. I went to a store yesterday. It's a bookstore. It's the only place I know where I can get a calendar, those big calendars. Yeah, I'm still old school. Because see, I don't want to get dependent on this technology. Even though right now I am on my iPad to do this live stream, but I don't want to be dependent on all electronics for my activities. I like things on pen and paper. Because see, your information you can get locked out. They can jam signals and you can't have access to the internet. They can do that. And if all your information is on a computer, you won't be able to retrieve it. If all your books are e-books, and if you don't have access to your device because power shortage or whatever, and I heard that there was some executive order that was initiated that if it's like they can make an executive decision to pull the switch for the internet to block all signals, and you only hear the signal from the White House, the news that they have. So they could censor information. And if all your information is on a device, all your books and not, that you get your knowledge from, if it's on an electronic, you're in bad shape. I have all these books. I have tons of books. I do have books on e-books, but I said, well, I don't want to do that anymore. I like hard books. I like to feel the book in my hand. It's things that you have to start considering out there. Yeah, they want you dependent on computers for everything. I'm just saying, be careful. I mean, I love my devices. Come on, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, I hope I'm making sense to you. It's really changing. It's getting cold, really cold. It's 32 degrees. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's my Mylar to keep me warm. It makes a lot of noise. So if you move a lot in your sleep, or you won't be able to sleep well because it makes a lot of noise. But yeah, see, Black Lives mean is important to me. That's why I do things that promote my well-being. Yeah. So I don't want to use too much electricity. So I have this thing to hold in my heat, because if I don't want to turn on the heat, and it's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. Yeah. Um, I can't think of anything else. Can't think of anything else right now. But the main thing is that reality is bigger, bigger than you realize. And some of the YouTubers that I've been watching have been talking more and more about extraterrestrials. Now, in my opinion, uh, based on my experience with the meditation, I do believe that they are beings. I saw I saw a being. I wanted to focus on the moon. I asked myself a question. Is there life on the moon? I said I want to find out. So this was the first time I ever, at that time, to consciously say to myself before I meditate, a standard meditation, not to get confused with my morning meditation. The morning meditation is right after I wake up from sleeping, and I keep my eyes closed and relax, and look straight ahead with my eyelids closed, and I get to see something. This, when I saw the being, that was during a what I call a standard meditation session. Like I'm at my table, I'm sitting, Indian style. I got a candle on, all that stuff, and I was doing it for 1 hour. When boom, I saw what I saw. Yeah, it looked so real, and I saw the moon also, a close up of the moon. You saw all the craters and everything. Yeah, yes, I saw the moon first that came to my vision, and then I saw the being. And it was like, stay calm. That's what I said to myself, stay calm. The thing had its head down like that. So I only saw the back of its, the, the, the noggin of the head. Yeah. It was really narrow, and it was like a murky color, like a pale brownish, like some animals, they have that pale skin, and but had some melanin in it. It was just really, it was uneven skin tone. Didn't have any body hair, thin arms, and the head was like the shape of like a football. I know that sounds very odd. That's what I saw. That is what I saw. And so I believe that they exist. And in another separate meditation, I saw, this was my morning meditation, where I saw a fleet of space crafts. It was a whole fleet. It was innumerable. They were relatively small and had a lot of gadgets attached to it. Yeah, yeah. I believe they're beings in outer space. Oh yes, after seeing that. Yeah, no, I don't do drugs. I don't drink. Sorry, sorry. The mylar. I had to move my feet. It makes a lot of noise. Yeah. So for me, based on those experiences, I believe that there is life out there, and they just have a lot of technology. And some YouTubers are suggesting now that people in government did a deal with these extraterrestrials to overtake the populations. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. This, as I call it, a pandemic. It doesn't make sense. Why enforce having a thing like that over your mouth? What if you have asthma and you can't breathe? What if you're a little child? You can't breathe. There's a problem. It does not block the spread of this pathogen. It does not. But they're forcing people to do this, and they're forcing people to get this thing in their arm. Why can't they make a mandate to ban GMO in the food? To ban all, what do you call it, hydrogenated oil. Sorry about that. See that? See that? It was buffering there. Every time I talk about a certain topic, it seems to happen. Yeah. So nothing. So it doesn't make sense. They have the science behind when you do certain things. It knows what certain foods do to the population. The food pyramid, that type of diet promotes obesity in people. But yet they haven't changed the food pyramid. Food pyramid chart is a triangle, and on the bottom is the base has all these veggies and things like that, and then the next layer was that like more proteins, and then above that um, fats and oils. You know, they they'd be better off reversing the food pyramid because that promotes more weight loss. Yeah, carbs with sugar, like cake, things like that, pastries. That is a carb plus high fat and sugar. Sugar, sugar promotes a lot of disease in the body. Did you know that um, cancer cells feed off of sugar? So that's why some people suggest when you get cancer to do a fast because it's starving the cancer. But see, they're promoting a sugar-based diet. They're promoting a high carbohydrate diet. And in doing so, it causes a lot of obesity. And with the obesity, it brings about inflammation in the body. And it's the inflammation in the body, in the arteries, that cause the scarring, and it causes the cholesterol buildup and what do you call it, blockage in your arteries, and that could, cause stroke and heart attack. Yeah. So why aren't they focusing on that? Put a war against this bad food. Do a mandate on that. Hey, close down any store that's selling this type of stuff. But they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that because they want people sick because it brings in money at the hospitals. So that's why I say, you become your own doctor. You do things to try to promote wellness in you. Dressing warm in the cold weather, drinking lots of water. What else? Yeah, and cooking your own food. Yes, I do like eating out. I'm like everybody else, but I'm also aware. It seems like people people who cook their own food. Now, my mom is still alive. She'll be 93 years old in 2 months. In less than 2 months, she'll be 93 years old. I have an ancestor from the same side of that family. She was 107 years old. How did that happen? I bet she cooked her own food. She didn't eat out. I doubt it. Yeah. Don't you? And you have to start asking yourself these questions. Ask yourself questions. Like they try to put fear in me. And I used to be extremely, extremely fearful. And when this pandemic hit last year in April, there was a family member that got sick. They're okay right now. They're okay. But it was very, it potentially could have really wiped out that person in just a couple of days. Remember, they blocked people from getting medical attention for over 2 weeks. And this person could have died. I did have relatives who died the following month. When April, May, 3 people, relatives, passed away. Okay. So you have to start asking yourself questions. Ask yourself questions. Why is it that more people are getting the thing in their arm, yet more and more of them are dying? Ask yourself these questions. Ask it. Ask yourself questions. How is it that some of you have ancestors who lived long lives? They didn't have electricity. That ancestor, they were born in the 1800s, what was that? They were born maybe the 18, let's see. Oh, you do the math. Okay, they passed away in the 1970s and they were 107 years old. So, okay, let's see. Let's see. So 1870s. Okay, let's just say the late 1860s. They didn't have a lot. I don't think they had electricity. How is that? How is that we have more technology? We don't have to go outside in a well in New York City to get our water. We have tap water. We can get a shower. We have refrigeration where we could buy food in bulk, put in a refrigerator. This person lived to 107 years of age. All her siblings were at least 90 something and up. How is that? How is that with more primitive, so-called primitive lifestyle? See, I ask myself these questions because, see, come on. Sorry, guys. The um, the counter's not moving. I don't know whether it's still programmed. I mean, whether it's still recording. It's. Come on. So I don't. Could you guys hear me? Could you guys hear me in CB? Yeah, the counter is not on. I'm looking at the counter. It's not recording right now. I don't want to speak if it's not going to record. Come on. Let's just try to make it go. Come on, let's go on. Come on. Come on. Come on. I think I might do it now. Okay, we're back on. Okay, we're back on. I apologize for that. Yeah, that was buffering for a long time. As I was saying, with this whole what's happened now in life, you have to start asking questions. See, it's not about who has a college degree, who doesn't. It's about logic and common sense. Now, I was just saying that I have an ancestor who was 107 years old. They died in the 1970s. We have a newspaper clipping with her and her other sibling and people from her community. And she was being honored for being as you know, past 100. Now, people in those days, they have less technologies, less conveniences. How did she reach that age? Why is that people now, even with more technology, more free time, why our age is decreasing? Why? I watch these videos on YouTube with these people lifting weights. Did you know a lot of those bodybuilders are dying? They're only in their 40s because they're really not being honest with themselves. I mean, my condolence on the family and friends of those people who passed, but there are a lot of them. They're dying like flies. These are professional bodybuilders. They're real big, and they're starting to look kind of disformed. Not in the current bodybuilders, yeah. Because early last year, I started bodybuilding. I saw a video that inspired me. That was around in February of last year, in 2020. And then early March of 2020, I joined a gym. And I did it for 2 weeks. And I thought, and then the pandemic happened, so they closed all the gyms down. But I start asking myself questions regarding what health is. Now, how could you say you're about health? Are you taking things knowingly that it can cause certain illnesses in your body? You know, and the organizations behind the professional bodybuilders, they're not thinking right. They're selecting people, they're giving medals to people whose body look distorted. Those real big, their tummy look bigger than mine. They look pregnant. How could you call that health? How's that you have a whole slew of people in their 40s, and you heard that there was a young lady too, she was like in her 20s, and she died a couple of months ago. I thought bodybuilders were about health. They're not. They got corrupted. They're about show. They're about vanity. They're not about health. So you see all these people walking around with these big muscles, right? They had all these big muscles, and you just assume they're about health. Many of them aren't. They're about vanity. They're about letting people believe something about them. And they're willing to sacrifice their personal wellness so that they get admiration from others. And it's really, just this year I was learning about the bodybuilders that were dying, excuse me, excuse me. Yeah, good morning, viewers, good morning. Yeah, this is really troubling. I've talked about this early in the year. Yeah, they are distorting truth. They want you to believe certain things, and it's a preoccupation. Like with YouTube, the more videos you watch on a particular subject, the more they seem to show you. So right now they are starting to show me about health. These a lot of women, how to do this or that, and it's like wow, I get confused. Did you know around the world you have people who are starving, are literally starving? And here in America, it's about, oh my God, how to lose weight. We got it upside down. People are trying to find out how to get skinny. In other countries, they want to know how they're going to get their next meal. We got it backwards. Backwards here. Backwards. How to stay slim. We have too much food. It seems like the more we have in this society, the worse off we become. We have more material goods, but yet everybody is competing with everybody. I notice now with YouTube that everything is about money, how to get money. And it's not about, money is a good thing to have as a tool to be able to support yourself, to buy food, to pay your rent or you pay your mortgage, whatever. But it's almost an obsession. And I'm watching this one YouTuber, it's like they find out what works for them. And the more they make, the more that they want. And now the person is using, again, I'm not going to give names or anything like that. I'm not here. Come on. It's buffering again. I don't see the counter moving. You guys see it moving? Could you guys hear me and see me? Could you see me? It's not, the counter's not moving. I think it's still buffering. And I don't want to start giving information. Okay, it's going now. I apologize. Sorry about that. It was buffering again. Yeah. So what I was saying, you have more and more people on YouTube with these schemes to how to get more money, how to make money off of other people. But they never talk about having standards, It's just that this money, and it's almost like a god. And this YouTuber made a point about it, that this, oh, I remember, this other YouTuber was talking about we're being focused on looking at pictures Oh, something with the scriptures. It says, do not idol, what's that? Don't worship images or idols. You can think an image or photos like an idol. So it's something that you focus your attention on. But isn't like with these videos and how we start to worship some of the people on it? People are worshiping and want you to worship them. They're not about real content. They're about what they can do so that they can get more money. And again, nothing wrong with money. As a tool, just like a fork and knife is a tool, a hammer is a tool, a cup is a tool, it enables you to do something. But now it's a frenzy on the internet world about this money. And now that they do using sexuality, this guy is now inviting his fiancée to promote his videos. Now the guy didn't need to have his partner to promote his videos. He's good on his own. But now he's expanding, and now he wants to feel like he needs to have his fiancée and okay, we're back on. Yeah. So now it's using sexuality to entice you to watch the videos. Again, remember what I mentioned earlier in this live stream, that energy flows where your attention is drawn to. So if your attention is drawn to a female that's dressed very sexy on the video, it is sapping your energy. And I'm thinking that this whole technology of the internet, I'm wondering whether it was actually devised. I hope you guys could hear me. Could you guys hear me? I'm starting to think, people, this is very important. Trying to put the dots, connecting the dots. I'm starting to think that this whole internet is designed to sap your energy. Oh, okay, hey, Carter. Okay, good, I'm glad you can hear me. Yeah, I believe that the internet, how it's forming today, is designed to capture your attention, because what's happening, you're looking at a monitor, an eye, like right now I'm looking at the eye of the camera, okay? And when you look at it, you're engaging in it. Your attention is getting into that camera. It's getting into it. When you get emotional or something like that, or you cry or you laugh, it is taking that energy. Energy flows where the attention goes. And it's getting into the device. It's all electronic. What do you call it? It's all wireless. That's where what they call smart technology. Smart technology is taking your energy, and without the use of wires. There's no cables or anything like that. It goes right. It can capture your energy through the airwaves and enter into the device, and then goes to wherever it goes to. It's taking it. And then you notice also on Facebook. What does Facebook, oh not Facebook, I meant to say YouTube. But I'm sure it's something like a Facebook. Yeah, I don't really have other social media. I have this, I have the YouTube. I do have a Facebook, but I don't like using it. I really don't. And what does it have you do on YouTube? It has the like, dislike button. It doesn't matter, like or dislike. And then it has some other stuff, share. It wants you to touch the screen. Why does it want you to touch the screen? Because it's taking your energy. These devices are designed to take your energy. So the more you engage in it, the more it's sucking your essence out. That's what I'm starting to think now. So it's So you notice that certain videos they promote, the bomb said, does that, what's that mean, Carter? This is a bomb segment. What's that? What's that mean? Okay, clear. This is a bomb segment. Okay. Well, I hope that means that it's good, Carter. I hope that means that it's good. But yeah, it's starting to really click to me that why it wants you to engage in so much. Touching the screen, giving a like or a dislike, a share, typing your time. It wants you to touch the screen because it's getting your energy. Oh, okay, thank you, Carter. Thank you for the compliment. Doesn't make sense, people. Why touch the screen? Why touch the screen? Oh yeah, what I was gonna say, that a lot of the videos they want, what is that now? Like it wants more and more people engaging in it. They say, oh, if you if you're the 10th person, we'll give you something. We'll give you a gift if you're the 10th viewer or the 10th person to comment or whatever. Again, it's forcing you to engage in the device, for you to physically touch it, type in, and it's gathering your data. Maybe it's gathering information that you don't even know about. Oops, sorry. Who knows what it's really gathering? Oh, and certain subjects also. It likes. Okay, a message was just retracted, Carter. Yeah, I didn't retract anything, so I don't know why one of Carter's message was retracted. So anyway, I noticed also certain types of videos that it seems to promote. Thing like, remember a couple of months ago that couple, that white couple from Florida, and they went cross country, and she gets murdered and the boyfriend commits suicide. Remember that one? Was it Laundry family? The guy's last name was Laundry, I think it was. Yeah. Um, now it was sent like that. YouTube was sending me videos on that case. It was like a deluge. It was a flood of recommended videos on that. So it recommended things about people, women dying, things like that. Why? Because I'm a female, maybe, it wants me again to engage in it. So initially, I didn't engage in it, but it wouldn't stop recommending the videos, and I foolishly started watching them. And yes, I got hooked on it. Yes, I did. I was watching and watching and watching it. Why? It wants me to be overburdened with death. I'm about life. I want to promote life. What else? Yeah, it recommends videos that are potty mouth, um, angry, things like that. And so it's going to recommend those things and more. And the more you watch, the more it will recommend those things. And I have to be careful because it is addictive. Even bad things are addictive. And you ask it why. And you notice what it doesn't want you to know. It doesn't recommend videos that question authority, that question about this, what was happening for the past, going on 2 years. It doesn't want you to think. It just wants you fearful. I don't want that. I don't want that. You shouldn't want it either. But it just really hit it on me. The devices, it wants your attention so much. And I think it's interesting that The Matrix, I'm sure many of you have heard of the movie The Matrix. And it's interesting that tomorrow the Matrix movie is going to come out. I saw all three episodes of The Matrix. The first one is the best. That one, I mean, I have the CDs for all three. I don't know how, I don't know what number four is going to be like. I do want to see it. I have to be honest. I want to see it. But even with that movie, The Matrix, what was that all about? It showed you visuals. The people are in the little pond, right? And they have a computer, and and showed them things that they engaged in. Their bodies, see, the mind doesn't know the difference between reality and something artificial. If you see it, smell it, taste it, your body thinks it's real. And it has you getting emotional, all these things. And what's happening? It's taking the energy. Remember that, people. Remember that. It is taking your energy. And that's what the Matrix is about. What's his name? Morpheus. He said it's turning your body into this, and he holds up a battery. And so with this device, like the one I'm on now, it wants you to touch it, it wants you to get emotional. Why? Because it's taking your energy. And it's going to recommend things that's going to elicit the most energy. Why are so many people addicted to pornography? You have people who are, it's an addiction, and they can't stop. What happens with that type of stuff when you watch that type of stuff? Well, you are generating a lot of energy, people, right? You're generating a lot of energy, and it's taking it, and it's exploiting you to engage, and then you can't stop. You can't stop it. Also, church, the same thing. When you go to church, it's the same principle. It's to take and capture your energy. Remember, energy flows where your attention goes. And so let's say you're in a Catholic church, you have a crucifix, and you get all emotional looking at the crucifix. It wants you emotional because it wants to tap onto your personal energy. That's the steeple. You go to those churches, those big steeples, the little points on the church. Well, those rooms, it's in rooms where people are going to do those worship stuff. So singing is capturing your energy. Praying is capturing your energy. Candles, people. It's in Catholic churches, and this is not against Catholics, okay? But it's about practice. Do you notice in Catholic churches and some Protestant churches, they have candles going on? What is a candle? And what is the flame? I believe the candle and its flame, I should say the flame in particular, the flame of the candle acts as a portal for energy to go into. So when you're praying, well, what do? They're praying to the candle. They're praying for something that concerns them, or whatever what it is. Your energy is going into that flame. A flame is a portal. A portal is a doorway. A flame is a portal, and a portal. Come on. See, it's buffering again. Come on. Let's go back on. Okay. So it's rolling now. So when that YouTuber, a former YouTuber, because they pulled his channel, when he mentioned that about energy flowing to where the attention goes, it started to make sense to me and how it represents with the devices that we use, the churches that we go to, what we're focused on, that our attention, that the energy is being sent to what we're focused upon. And with the movie The Matrix, that what was that all about? It purposely set up scenarios for you to produce energy. And it seems like the most energy that is obtained is through sexual content, watching certain types of videos. And I think that's why Hollywood was created. What does Hollywood, don't you notice you're watching a simple movie made in Hollywood, and they always throw in something of a sexual content, and it wasn't needed for the story. Oh, I love that. That was funny. That was funny. Yeah, it doesn't want you to know certain things. Come on. It's buffering again. Yeah, come on. Okay, we're back on. Thank you, Carter. Yeah, it purposely doesn't want you, it wants you distracted. Start asking yourself, why do they throw in these themes in these movies when it's not necessary? It already had a good story plot, but then they have going to have something of a sexual nature in it. It's designed, it's like, okay, we'll allow you to have this movie, but you have to have this element in some form in a movie. It's like that is the requirement for Hollywood to release a movie. Just start noticing. Start noticing now. Start noticing. Start noticing why, they want you to engage more and more on your devices. Look at the guy on Facebook. He wants you now to do what called metaverse. What is metaverse? To actually have your brain. Yeah, we are being watched. Good. That's a good. Thank you, Carter. Thank you, Carter, for that. We're being watched. Remember, there was a photo of that guy, the founder of Facebook, and he has a computer, and someone took a photo of him or something, or it was a still photo, and he was by his desk, and he had his computer, and the with the laptop, it has where the video, where you could do the video, it was taped up. He knows he could be watched. That's a smart dude, but he's well, he is what he is. But you notice the founder of Facebook is now going the extra step. He says, I want to do this thing, create a virtual world. There are already forums for virtual reality. I did try virtual reality. I didn't like it. It actually scared me. I thought, oh, this might be something fun. It's not fun. I, I, um, I would get scared because you really feel you in these places after a while. And so I don't know. And again, it's luring a lot of men. A lot of men like to go into these VR games. Be careful. They're going to exploit your weaknesses through those games. And so it's like the next step. So here they have you touching the screen, liking or disliking, sharing or whatever. And then the next step is, hey, be a part of the game. Be actually inside the game. That is the danger. They want you to be more familiar with the VR world than actually the living world. I mean, people, you ever meet someone, hey, let's exchange numbers. They don't want to call you at home. They want to use your cell phone. And they're not going to talk to you on the phone, they're going to text you. People are not comfortable in engaging in healthy conversation with people. People are being groomed, they're being conditioned to um, interact with a computer. So you just text an information, what they call texting. Or I'll just text you. What's wrong with talking? What's wrong with talking? Tell me. Because people can't relate to people anymore. They're relating to the device. And I was told that through this therapist. They said that when you touch a device, there was something that it gives a pleasure thing to you. It makes you want more. It's something with the screen. I don't know what component, but I remember being told that. It gives an instant a pleasure response, which is watching more, or them showing you more things of what you just clicked on. It gives instant gratification. I'm not talking about sexual gratification, but to watch something, let's say you enjoy what you watch, and whether it be a documentary, drama, comedy, it's still something that is that you're engaging, that you're enjoying, and so to just click on a button and you get the response that you want, you know. Um, so it's addictive. And the next step is, hey, I don't want to ever leave. They might say, I don't want to leave the internet. Hey, let me create a world. I can't relate to my girlfriend anymore, or I can't relate to my parents anymore. I can't relate to my teacher. Well, I'm gonna create a go buy his virtual reality games, and you're stuck on it. There was a movie that I saw. I don't remember the name of the movie. It was kind of like a B movie, and it talked about, well, this guy, he knew, I think maybe it was something like a super soldier type of thing. He had these powers in him, and they were out to get him, and he was running in this room, and the room was filled with people with IVs. They're standing up, and they have an IV in their arm, and they have a VR glasses on. They were forever to be in that device. This was the new junkie. The new junkies wasn't doping with like, what they use in those drugs. This new drug was virtual reality, and that's where we're heading. That movie was very prophetic. I wish I could remember the name. Yeah, one of you YouTubers referred me to that video, and I bought it. It's kind of B movie, but it it hit it right on the head. The new junkie is going to be addicted to virtual reality, and they're going to have drug dens of these virtual reality uh, activities. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. Those of you who know, you can write down the name of the movie. I don't remember. One of you YouTubers referred it to me, and I bought it. Because yeah, I learned things from you guys too. So where does this have to go? Because again, the title of this video is about the vision that I had this morning. For those of you who just came on board, I've been meditating since this form of meditation since 2017 around. And what I do is, upon awakening from sleep or dreaming, I keep my eyes closed. I awaken, but I keep my eyes closed, and I just, as if I'm looking at a screen, but my eyelids. I'm looking at my eyelids closed, just looking straight ahead, and then boom, I see something. Sometimes I see it's like I'm there, or sometimes I see an image of something, like a photo or something. All different things. And recently, this past month, the theme of what I've been seeing is water. Seeing a body of water, like a part of, a lake or a river or something. And I'm wondering whether the things that I'm seeing it makes me believe more and more that I am in a simulation. I believe that where the real me is somewhere else, and that there are different channels. And this is a special moment, and I encourage you all to do it, because you want to know what's happening with your life. You want. Sorry, that was the power button. My batteries are low now, so I have to hurry up. But really, it's telling me that there are other realities out there, and that I'm able to go in the in-between states of awareness. There's an awareness in the dream world. There's an awareness in this world. And then there's in between. And I've learned by chance, that's my dog, I discovered this by chance, that I'm able to tap into other worlds. And I believe they really exist. I see people sometimes. I don't see people a lot, but I've seen people. I've been what looked like in a conference room in a facility. I've seen plants. I've seen animals. Well, right now, this month, I'm seeing water. So I'm wondering whether um, I'm tapping into, and I have an existence somewhere else. Let's say the movie the movie The Matrix. Let's say I'm actually in a pod or whatever, and they can have different things, different things being shared to me according to where my attention is. Where is my attention? So let's say when I fall asleep, a traditional sleep, you close your eyes, you fall asleep. A lot of times you don't remember what you dreamed. And I'm thinking, um, your body, your avatar, is a computer. Your body is a computer. And your body works like a Bluetooth. Your body, in essence, is a Bluetooth. It receives and it sends out electrical data. But like your regular computer, it has to go to sleep, right? It has to rest. And this physical body has to rest too. So when we go to sleep, our mind, though, is active. And it goes, and it could be living a life somewhere else. Or like the movie Avatar. Those of you who haven't seen Avatar, go see the movie Avatar. Yeah, it is a typical Hollywood film. Yes, it throws in certain elements that I wish it didn't send, but it also gives information. And the information is the fact that they could create, it was a fictional movie, but I think it's based on reality. You have an indigenous population, and then you have infiltrators to their world. What does that sound like? It sounds like colonialism. Colonialism. And then they said, well, we have to somehow get into their world. So they got part of these indigenous people's DNA, grew it in a lab, and then they took the mind. They had a machine that they could take the mind of the human being and put it into the new body, the cloned body, and interact with the indigenous people, and they try to win their confidence so they can take over their land. And I think that's what happened to people on planet Earth, that they were tapped into by foreign entities, and now they want to, they took over. And it could be more than one being. Like in the movie Avatar, they showed Earthlings doing that. But it doesn't mean that they could, I mean, but it can also mean that there are other beings tapping on to humanity today. And that's what I think what's happening. It's a frenzy, and it's a frenzy for our genetics. It's a frenzy for taking control over our bodies. That's why they want us to get the thing in the arm, because they want to take over. They wanted, you are so valuable, regardless of your race, religion, nationality, gender. You are valuable, and you're valuable to beings that cannot navigate in your world. So it hijacks your body. It puts in people, hybrid people, in between to navigate between the alien and the earthling. And that's where a lot of, according to some researchers, that like people like the royal family, they say that they are like hybrids. You notice that they're so much into, you have to be with your own kind. You know, you can't mix with them. Why is that? Excuse me. Why is that? It's genetics. And the genetics just allows them, it doesn't mean superiority, it just allows them to access their body computer and have them do things on their behalf. And the current health crisis is their frenzy and desperation to take total control over the planet. That's what's going on. But it's your choice. I mean, just start to be aware. Start being aware of the thing that's illogical. It has nothing to do with political party. They're all the same political parties. Look at the outcome. Look at the outcome of what's being done. They want you to do things with your body, have things done to your body that doesn't make sense, that causes you harm. And then now the introduction now of the metaverse by the founder of Facebook. Why is that? Why is that? They want you to be permanently linked to this technology, and it'll be a new slave. I believe also that it's like a slavery within a slavery within a slavery, meaning that not only are we a 3D world, but maybe we were created to be put in this 3D world, and when we advance, we start to do the same thing and create slaves for us, and so it perpetuates. I think it's infinite, a number of layers of reality. And I think part of the way of tapping into these other realities is through doing, what do you call it? What do I call it again? Meditation. Why in the Bible it says don't do these meditations? I'm not worshiping any devil. Evil is what evil does. Evil is what evil does. It has nothing to do with wanting to acquire wisdom and knowledge. It wants you afraid to be a self-thinker. I'm saying you tap into, safely. You start tapping into these other realms through the thing that I was suggesting, in the in-between world, sleep and awake. And you two are going to start seeing things. We're being fooled. I'm being fooled. I believe we really are in an avatar, that our real consciousness, our real body, wherever, is being tapped into. And it's many channels. There are many realities going on. And what I could be seeing in my visions could be other lives that I'm currently living, like a parallel world. That is what I'm starting to believe. Because sometimes it's like I'm actually there, looking through the person's eyes at that scene. And I've never been to these places. Never. But it exists. And it can sometimes see me. And but they try to block my eyes so I can't see. It's real. This is real. And now, the new Matrix is coming out tomorrow. The new Matrix is coming out tomorrow. Why tomorrow? Why now? The end of the year. And you have all this new mandates that they're really pushing the mandate in New York. It's pushing New Yorkers to wear this thing on your face, even though it does not block those pathogens. So I better start going now because my batteries are low. I appreciate you all watching, and yes, each one teach one. Share this video with friends, family members, people that you think would enjoy this information. And those of you who want to support me, support my channel, you can do so through my PayPal Me link. And the link is found on the top right banner of my channel, Spirit Journey channel. Just tap on the link, follow the prompts, and any amount would be greatly appreciated. Yes, it'd be your free will gift, and I thank you in advance for anything that you could provide. I thank you, and again, I hope you enjoyed this, and keep on keeping on. Your body is your temple, and it should be your will, not anybody else's, what you do with it. Okay? Thank you again, viewers. Peace, love, joy, and safety be unto you. Take care. Until next time. Bye-bye.